What up, YouTube? Team Moose here. Since this month it is Black History Month and I do my reviews for Black-led films, here is my review for the 1993 film Menace to Society. Now, this film premiered back on May 26, 1993, directed by Alan and Albert Hughes, who also recently gave us that movie Alpha a couple years ago. They also did Dead Presidents. They did some other pretty this stuff here and there. They also did that Mark Wahlberg and Russell Crowe film Broken City a couple years ago. Anyway, now this film stars Tyrone Turner, who plays this 18-year-old named Kane, who after growing up in the gang lifestyle in LA in the LA projects, he wants his way out, and so like everyone around him, including his unpredictable friend named Old Dog, portrayed by Lorenz Tate, is also trapped in their lives of crime and violence here. And so, like with the help of so here with the help of his caring teacher, played by Charles S. Dunton, and his supporting girlfriend, played by Jay Pinkett. Uh, Jay Pinkett's not now, but at the time she went by Jay Pinkett because obviously Will Smith and her wasn't married at the time. But anyway, and so like there's lots of tragic events that ends up happening throughout after Kane wanting to leave like the safe for good and all. Anyway, I gotta say, this movie is so good. I mean, I don't know why. I always get a kick out of, like, hood-based movies. Whether it's Boys in the Hood, whether it's something like Juice. Something about hood-based films, which is weird because I don't live in the hood at all. But I always do get a kick out of hood films. They're just, something about them are really intriguing to watch. The performances are really cool. And I thought Tyrone Turner is so good in this film. He really gave us, solid performance here. Lorenz Tate, who have, of course, appeared in stuff like, he was recently seen in Girls Trip. Lorenz Tate has also done stuff like, he was in the movie Crash. I believe he was in Dead Presidents, if I'm not mistaken. He's been in some pretty decent stuff here and there. Anyway, this film is such a really, intriguing, film about trying to get out the crime life and all, and there is some insane stuff that ends up happening in this. Uh, most scenes in this are actually spoofed in that movie. Don't Be a Menace to Society. Like the character of Old Dog, I guess you could say was a bit of a is actually the character that Marlon Wayans ends up spoofing in Menace to Society. But I really do quite like the chemistry between both Tyra Turner and Lorenz Tate. You guys had some other interesting castles here, like you had Sam Jackson popped up here in this film here and there. Kennedy Alexander was in this. Clifton Powell, Bill Duke, uh, Renigar Beller was in this. You had Too Short, Anthony Johnson. Some really solid castles in this film. And also, of course, the scene between Tyron Turner and Jake Pinkett Smith's character are really intriguing. This does get some intense moments at times too. But it's a really decent coming of age story. At times it does become like a coming of age story. At times it does feel like stuff like Boys in the Hood. Because in the '90s they did do some pretty solid like hood based movies. Because they were like Hollywood was, of course, coming up with the success of Boys in the Hood, and since then they always been trying to like do more hood-based films. Like since Boys in the Hood, we end up having stuff such as Menace to Society, Juice, and all that. But Menace to Society is such a really extreme. It's a really well made, very disturbing film at times. Uh, but the Hughes brothers did such a great job in this. It also has a really decent, killer soundtrack. I mean, it was also pretty cool to see a Manchester Side reunion in Girls Trip because Lorenz Tate and Jay Pinkett were both in that film together. I mean, I remember when I saw Girls Trip, I'm like, hey, is that a Manchester Side reunion? They should have had some sort of reference to Manchester Side where they'd be like, hey, Manchester Side people, Manchester Side or something like that. But it is also a really violent film at times too. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have not really seen Match Society, you can find it on where can you find that on? You can find it on Prime, Vudu, Fandango. Now you can find it on some pretty good streaming services. But anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen Menace Society? If so, what story? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What's some of your favorite parts of the film? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Simu signing off.